Hi everybody. I came home for VTO. Not because of what is going on, but I do suspect that if we keep going the way we're going, we're gonna have a state of emergency by Friday if the wind doesn't change. Like, you can definitely see it during the day, but now you can definitely see the smog and the smoke at night, especially in like streetlights. But just driving, like, it's not good here. You can still go outside and be okay. It's a warning. It's not a state of emergency, but anybody with asthma or like COPD or anything like that is being severely affected. And a lot of people, like little kids, were passing out, just running around and recess like it's normal, and it's not normal. And of course, you could see it in the air, but it's not like you can see clear. It's just like a little tiny bit of fog, or it was. And then when I came back out on break, like when I was coming into work at 6:30, it was like almost like a really hot day. If you ever were driving and it looks like steam is coming off the road, but off the sky. So I was like, okay, so yeah, I can definitely see we're getting the smoke from the wildfires now. And it's like just like a foggy day, like it's gonna rain. And then I came out at 9 for my break, and I coughed all the way through my break. And it's like, if when I looked up in the street light, it was very, very thick. So I'm curious to see what it's gonna look like in the daylight. But I don't know the wind direction. I don't know if it's just gonna be like this, for a day or so, and it'll level out, or if it's going to get worse over the next couple days. But we've been cold all week. We've been cold, and it's very strange to be June. We had extreme hot 2 weeks ago when we should have still been cold. So it's like it flip-flopped. But a lot of us are very curious. We've never had a fire this north, because we're wet. We're known for swamps and bogs and really wet, damp, moist areas. We're around the Great Lakes. We're about 2.5 hours to the Canadian border. And if you continue on the Canadian border, they have the same land we do for miles and miles and miles. And this is what is concerning to us. I know that Canada has had forest fires. They're just like us. Parts of their country is very dry. Like out west, they have forest fires every year. And just like Canada, they have forest fires every year. But this far north, we do not. It does not make sense. It does not make logistical sense. There has been burnings done to help boost controlled burnings in the area, because it is damp, and that's not always good for trees. They just want to burn off dead stuff. And I'm not saying that we don't get droughts, because we do, and we just did have a bunch of hot weather. So I don't know about the Canadian side, but they're not that different from us. We're still very damp and moist. We're not dry here, so it doesn't make sense for it to keep going. And I know that when you're breathing stuff in, you can feel a burn, you can feel nauseous, you can be dizzy. But what I can relate it to, I was a cleaning lady for a very long time, and I don't know if you've ever been cleaning in close proximity of bleach and kind of like poisoned yourself on accident. I did that 3 separate times, not even meaning to. I just didn't turn the vent on in the bathroom when I was cleaning the toilet and the shower, and it's a small space, and I kept breathing it in, and my lungs felt like they were literally on fire, and I threw up, and I was dizzy, and I was nauseous, and it was like an inside chemical burn. And I've been in fires before, and I've been choked and had that feeling, and that is a burn, but it's not the same. unless you have chemicals burning within that fire that you are in, not just like wood. So it could be, chemical stuff is getting burnt in, to the atmosphere, but a lot of us we have a lot of questions, and we're uncomfortable saying stuff because we have a lot of military bases around us. We have a drone school here. They go on and on about all this weather control stuff. Syracuse has always been unpredictable weather. Always. Nobody can predict on it. Just wait a second, the weather will change. And over the last 2 years, it's been crazy. We're better to test your bullshit than from Syracuse up into the the northern region of Canada. Their weather is very much like us. We move very fast and it's unpredictable. Like, we've gotten good with science, like 60% chance of rain today. It will rain, but when, and sometimes it doesn't rain at all, and sometimes it's supposed to be a dry day and you get dumped on, and it happens within like 30 minutes. 20 minutes, 10 minutes. I just feel like they're fucking with us. Something's off. We've had a lot of, since COVID, we've had in our area, the CDC here a few times, like studying the flu virus, studying the cold virus, studying weird stuff that kind of has morphed. And even before COVID, the CDC came here every year to study the flu. Because every year it kept coming back stronger because the unpredictability of our weather. And the extreme hot to cold always makes the virus stronger and worse. We have the worst strands here. They definitely studied COVID here as well. We are a study area. I am concerned. And I don't know what else to say because I can't prove anything. But I really hope that like someone like Erin Brockovich out there is paying the fuck attention, because if people start getting sick 5 years from now, I just feel like this is a moment of, this is very strange. This should not be happening. And the world is changing on a dime. We're hotter at core temperature than we've ever been, and global warming is popping the fuck off. So I can't tell you what normal is. I can't tell you, anything. It might not be chemical at all. It just might be the literal ozone of our atmosphere just is not existent, and it's not protecting us as much. But Houston, we got a problem, and I don't know if you remember me going on about this, and I don't like to put my spirituality into it, but you're not going to have to wonder about a lot of shit. Like, I am concerned about a lot of things, and I'm not going to voice it. I'm just going to kind of sit back. I made a lot of mistakes. I'm not getting into my spirituality anymore. It's my protection. There's certain people who wake up in this world and who know things, and keep it until you feel that I'm a mouthpiece. I'm a cusper between Leo and Virgo. I am supposed to be shedding light. I'm supposed to be out here truth bombing, and everything inside is telling me to be quiet. That's the mouthpiece. Be quiet. Give them nothing. They're watching and they're listening. And I don't know who they is. I just call them the Watchers. And no, I'm not just talking about the government. The government is small potatoes to what you need to be worried about. And I don't care if anybody says I'm wonkadoodle, dandy-doo. I don't care. Why do we have a Space Force? Why do we have Area 51? Why is my blood type so fucked up? Why doesn't my blood type match any of my family? And I'm not adopted. I 100% can prove that I came out of my mom's vajayjay. And my blood type does not match anybody I'm related to. You have to have one of your parents' blood types. That blood type and that blood type made you. There's very rare circumstances where one blood type and one blood type can make an entirely different blood type altogether. And when that happens, you have better chances of winning the fucking lottery than having a baby with a blood type different than your parents. It does not happen every day. And to be a cusper, and my dad is also a cusper. We are a cusper on the very last day of our cusper. Like, he's the last day of his, I'm the last day of mine. There's weird, rando shit. My mom had 5 children. And all of a sudden, this newt stuff comes into my life. It's like weird. You know what I mean? Like, I've been learning a lot about Newt and Hekmet and Isis. And Isis has always been one of my guides, but I didn't know Hekmet was too. Her twin sister. And I know everyone's like, you're saying her name wrong, but that's how she says it to me. I'm Hekmet. She was banished for being untamable. Her magic was untouched. Her power was untouched, but so was her rage and her destructive qualities. You couldn't tame her. You couldn't condense her. You couldn't shrink her. She was the most powerful. You know, Isis was a badass Mama Jamma too, and she is the holder of intelligence. She can't, it's like Isis and Hekmet were the most powerful, I'm sorry, out of all of those children. And, like, the blood type trips me the fuck up. But what I'm getting into, I was studying, like, U571, I almost said that's a movie about submarines. Why is that in my dome piece? I don't know. Maybe that was a psychic connection. But I was studying like UFO sightings all the way back from the 1960s. I studied Area 51. I've studied everything that I could get my hands on about aliens because I've always believed that I just don't come from here, and that's weird. And if you look at psychology, there is technically a mental illness where you disassociate with humanity, where you feel like you're separate. But I don't like, and none of those, like when you have to like diagnose yourself with a disease, like none of those things add up. So I'm like, I mean, I think it's just a coincidence. Like I know I'm a human being. Like I know I was born here. I don't feel like I came down from space and I was like boo doo boo doo boo doo boo doo boo doo. But it's just like something happened in that womb, and I don't care. Like, I have memories, I have experiences of a place that does not exist here, and I'm not ever gonna tell a soul that. Like, I feel like there's mouthpieces in this world. There are other Leo, Virgo, cuspers like me, and I feel like you're the same. It's like you come from certain... Like, I even feel wrong because, like, I'm a believer of God. Like, God is my best friend. Like, there is no one higher of God. But I also believe in goddesses because they have been proven to be part of my guide team. So if Isis is real in my guide, then she was real in history. Hatshepsut is my guide, so she was real to me in history. Hekmet was a real person in history. Like, I don't see any of the other ones. So like I just stick with what I know to be true. Isis was very intelligent, but she was a lot like Hekmet too. Like, yes, she was a mother, but she would flip on you in a second. She had a nasty streak in her too. You cannot have power and be pure. That's what people don't understand. You are equal good and you are equal evil, and it's one instant you choose in that moment what power are you pushing forward. And at some points I allow Hekhmet and Isis to come out because I need it. I'm in war. There is no light without darkness, and there is no darkness without light. That's why the yin-yang has black and white in it. It's all within one being. It's all in one power possession of a soul. Isis is Asa, the ultimate first magician, or a witch, if you want to call her that. I don't look at her as a witch. She would be more like, I don't know, like a Merlin, if you believe in Merlin, like a wizard. Witches are more in the Celtic goddesses, which I have some of those too as guides. I'm hesitant to show or tell what I know about anything. Everything will and can be used against you. Because life is a court of law. Fuck the court system. I don't care. I could out-argue any of those motherfuckers. Point blank, period. It's the courthouse of life that you should be worried about. And I just feel like it's about to get zero dark 30. And we're on a cusp of a very dark war. Like, this goes beyond a civil war. This goes beyond a world war. This is a spiritual war. As fucked as it sounds, who gets Earth in the end? Is Earth going to be greed, money? Is the devil going to get time to play? Or is God going to send him away? That's and that's my feelings. It's like a battle is afoot. And each one is getting their soldiers rallied. And the earth cannot sustain both powers and is crumbling. Maybe we're all just going to absorb and destroy and just combust. Like, maybe I'm just here to document it. Because I don't seem to, pick a side. No, I'm Team God. I'm not ever picking the dark side, and I will fight on the light side. I've picked a side. Don't get it twisted. But when it comes to, history of, Hekhmet was technically looked at as a devil. But I don't feel like she was. But if you look at Egypt, they look at Isis and Hekhmet as evil but good. It's like the snake that eats itself kind of thing. It's a double-edged sword. So it's hard for me to look at the other soldiers with hate and malice. Everybody has to pick a side. And you're either going to get banished like Hekhmet did, or you're going to rise like Isis did. But either or, they both fell in the end. Everybody falls in the end. And then we get regurgitated into new flesh suits. So, I don't know how to make sense of it. I just know there's a key in there. There's a key in here. Just gotta figure out what that key is. It's knowledge. Knowledge is the key to all things. It's not about power. It's not about money. It's not about status. It's knowing the right thing, the right answers at the right time. That changes the world in the right direction. So from all of this mess, I will somewhere in time know the right answer to something important. That's all I know. Anyway, I'm going to eat some food. Everyone in Canada, I'm praying for you. Anyone close to the fires, I'm praying for you. All the firefighters out there, stay safe. I know you're working hard. all your kids around here, everybody with asthma, COPD, breathing issues, wear a mask, don't go outside, and just, well, go outside to get to your car and stuff. Just don't chill outside, even though it's nice out. Don't keep your windows open if you have breathing issues. Do what you can. Stay safe out there. And global warming, I feel like it's going to be an issue this summer. We're supposed to have extreme temperatures everywhere. It's going to be like hell on earth. And with that, I will see you soon for a reading, maybe, or I might just eat and go to bed. I don't know what the right thing to do is anymore. I mean, not that I'm giving up on my channel, but I just feel the overwhelming need to let it play. Wait. Watch. Towers are falling. Evils are being exposed, and shit's gonna hit the fan with nature because of all the damage we've done. It's like karma is unfolding and spilling and it's gonna affect everybody. The news and all the stuff going on in the world, and everyone's just like people of power being questioned and canceled and nitpicked and ripped apart, and anybody who is decent and good is getting risen up. Politically, celeb, all of it. And then the world issues will come in. Poverty, famine, fires, drought, disease. This is a spiritual war, boo-boos. It ain't about a civil war. Like I said, it ain't about world wars. You shouldn't be worried about what country we're going to war with. We're beyond. So far beyond. This is a fight for survival on Earth. Bro, sis. Fuck war against each other. That's gonna happen as resources run out, as stress builds. This isn't all gonna happen this year. This is the future. We are losing Earth. I don't like to be negative. I'm hoping that we can turn it around. But right now we got more people working against us than we have working for the planet. We're not as awoke as we like to pretend. And the clock is ticking. And it's getting scary. Prepare is all I'm saying. I'm not prepared at all. I'm in the denial phase. Hard. I don't want to have to face the fact that everything's I'm a Virgo. I don't like change, so I'm freaking out. And it could be 5 years from now because I'm futuristic and Spirit's just just get it out now, Lizzie. Just get it out now because when that shit happens, I need you to be ready. So it could be down the road, and I'm just freaking out for nothing. Or it could be tomorrow. I don't know, but I'm just feeling it in my soul. Be careful. There's trouble afoot. There's more going on than we know and are being told about everything. Not just political shit. I don't trust nothing or nobody. Are you a robot? I don't know. Love you guys. See you soon. Toodaloo, boo-boos. Boy.